Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. Understands those rap guys. They only talk to her because she looks like a total prostitute, okay? I mean, but it's just so big. I can't believe it's just so round. It's like out there. I mean, gross.
Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up.
Roberta.
Holy! You guys caught me pre-gaming, so that's a little secret. Before I go live, I always play music and it gets me pumped up because like getting prepped for a live is sometimes daunting. And like you get like in this mood and then you're like, I got to snap out of it. So I always pregame. So I shared a little bit of my pre-gaming with you guys this afternoon. Welcome to J is for Justice. My name is Jay and I'm your host. Welcome to my Galdarn channel. And if you like what you see, consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up. Today I've got a packed show for you guys, and I didn't really plan it to be such a bombshell, but it turned out to kind of be a little bit of a bombshell. So let's jump into it. So what we're going to talk about first, and we're going to go over to our video player. We're going to talk about the gag order, and then we're going to kind of preface this with why. Why is Shannon Gray so freaking upset and frustrated that he felt that he had to file a motion to challenge this gag order that has been put on everyone and their brother, literally? So here's an interview with Ashley Banfield, and there's some good tidbits that come out of this. Let's start this video now.
Of Kaylee Goncalves. Mr. Gray, thank you so much for being here. So let's start with Adam. Who exactly is Adam? And has Adam been helpful at all in this investigation?
It's my understanding that Adam is just the bartender at the corner bar that they were referring to. I think it was just conversation they were having between the two of them. I don't think he's involved in the investigation at all, though. So.
But wouldn't he, I mean, you've done so much investigative work and you've been a prosecutor and a defense attorney in murder cases, so you know how it works. And I would imagine that anybody who saw these girls in the hours before they died might be able to at least say, who was in the bar, whether they witnessed anything unusual. What was it when they said, I told Adam everything? Do you have any idea what that meant? Was that something Adam could enlighten everybody to?
Now, let's go back just a couple seconds in this video. And I want you guys to note, this is where the point where the white truck pulls up behind them. And when we listen to the video, you can hear that engine. I don't know if it's exactly a diesel. It sounds like a diesel engine to me. I'm not 100% sure, but you can hear it when it pulls up when they're walking. I just wanted to kind of refresh your memory on that. And I want to welcome Obsessed for Disneyland to a Roberta. Thank you for joining and welcome to the fam.
Enlighten everybody to?
I have no idea. I can't speak to that conversation. I would hope that the Moscow Police Department would follow up with this video and some of the statements that were made in it. So that's what we're
the video
having faith that they followed up on that.
The video and the statements made in it. There's several things in the video. There is Maddie, Kaylee, hoodie guy, and there's a white truck, right? And Sunshine Stacy, welcome aboard.
Video. So
yeah, amen to that. What about the notion that there's a lot of sort of people triangulating social media? As you know, there's cyber sleuths who sometimes wreak havoc, but sometimes really provide some pretty good investigative help.
That would be us.
And there is some connection between Adam and Kaylee's ex-boyfriend. There's pictures of them. I think on TikTok there's a picture of Adam with Kaylee's dog. So they clearly have a close friendship. Do you know anything about the connection between Adam and Kaylee's ex-boyfriend?
No, I don't. We don't have any of that information. So, this is stuff that I think people are just.
That surprises me that he doesn't have any of that information, being that they had Jack D over, right? And he supposedly was friends with Adam. So, didn't Jack D fill them in? I'm confused on that one. And Jill Pill just became a Roberta. Thank you, Angie B, for gifting it. And welcome, Jill Pill, to the fam.
Roberta.
Doing some digging and it's part of the investigation process. When you're not getting a lot of information, people start digging into a lot of different things and trying to figure out things on their own. And and we believe that the community is who will help solve this case anyway. So we encourage people to continue to do the things that they need to do and help out the police in the investigation.
All right. So what about the young man in the hoodie who's walking with Kaylee and Maddie down the sidewalk and who looks so much like the young hooded man who was seemingly lurking in the background but did not appear to be with them in any way at the food truck? Does Kaylee's family believe it's the same person? And is there any concern about how early he was cleared in all of this?
Well, we believe it. Looking at the video, we think it's probably the same person. This video appears to be shot right before the food truck. They get to the food truck. So I think they think that it's the same person that was with them at the food truck. In regards to clearing people, I think clearing is one of those words that investigators use as far as they might clear someone and then they might get new additional information and revisit that person somehow down the line.
So he's saying, even though they say they're cleared now, they may change their perspective on that.
So, if they've cleared him in this, I'm not sure that they can't revisit any potential suspects that they might have.
Good point.
I can imagine that this is just excruciating for your clients, for the Goncalves family. Steve and Christy have said before they're frustrated. They want more information from the police. And it's come to our attention that the lead investigator on the Moscow police, who's running the show
in the name
for the
of
Moscow
Jesus,
police,
Father God,
is
Lord,
a 2-year veteran of the force. So he's literally a rookie.
This is where our problem comes in, right here. This is where our problem begins, is right here.
Bad information, or if that's true. Do you know anything about that? And why on earth, if that's true, would someone with so little experience be put in charge of something so incredibly difficult, complex, and critical?
2 years.
I just, from the get-go, I really want to make it clear that we are supportive of the investigation. We're supportive of everybody that's working on the investigation. We're supportive of all of the resources that have been provided for the investigation
we
throughout.
do. Yep.
But we also have to hold people accountable for the decisions that they're making. My understanding is that the person when we went into the meeting on Monday, the Brett Payne is the individual who identified himself as the lead investigator from the Moscow Police Department on the case. My understanding is that he was hired in 2020 as a rookie, and so he has a total of 2 years experience. As some follow-up to that, I sent a request over. I sent an email over to the Moscow Police Department asking for them to send some credentials over, some experience, education that Officer Payne might have that would lead, how he might be able to lead this investigation, give us some confidence in that. And their response was that it's personal records and we're not privy to that information.
Whoa. Angie B. Angie B is getting all kinds of reverters.
John, Wayne, Bob, it's
Jeff Kent, Emma Dilemma, Princess Mariposa, Callum 87. Welcome to the Mofo family. And Angie B, thank you, sweetheart, for gifting all of those memberships. Damn, you're awesome. Reverters. All right, let's go back. Now, why do you think, and ask yourself, sorry, they're cutting my grass. Every Monday, why do you think that they would put a rookie of 2 years on this case as the lead investigator? Why do you think?
Who knows?
Their response was that it's personal records and we're not privy to that information.
Oh, okay.
And
we'll see what we can dig up on that.
So we're talking about public servants. Public servants. Our cops are paid by our tax dollars. So if they're being told, oh, sorry, you can't get this guy's credentials. Sorry about it. It's personal.
Murder.
How about a redacted version? Redacted version? Why was there nothing? Now I understand why he's challenging all of this. The Goncalves family has completely been shut out, right? They weren't getting any information. They weren't interviewed. When have you ever heard of a damn family of a victim not being interviewed but only sent a questionnaire? And then you have to wonder, who's the lead investigator that's making these decisions? Who's backing up those decisions? Well, Chief Fry says, I am ultimately the one that takes responsibility for this investigation. But when this lawyer says, hey, I have a concern for one of the victim's daughters, and we would like to see the credentials of this man that is your lead investigator on this case, and they're told no? They're told no? So now poor Shannon Gray is going up against God knows what entity. But that's just, there's something not right there. I mean, I live in Florida. We're the Sunshine State statue state. We see everything. We're Scotch tape. Idaho's motherfucking duct tape. I mean, what's going on with the transparency here?
For the decisions that they're making. My understanding is that the person when we went into the meeting on Monday, the Brett Payne is the individual who identified himself as the lead investigator from the Moscow Police Department on the case. My understanding is that he was hired in 2020 as a rookie, and so he has a total of 2 years experience. As some follow-up to that, I sent a request over. I sent an email over to the Moscow Police Department asking for them to send some credentials over, some experience, education that would lead, how he might be able to lead this investigation. And I their response was that it's personal records and we're not privy to that information.
Like,
you
what the
know,
fuck is this?
I
And
sent a
everybody's like, what the
request
fuck is
over.
this?
I sent an email over to the Moscow Police Department asking for them to send some credentials over, some experience, education that Officer Payne might have that would lead, how he might be able to lead this investigation, give us some confidence in that.
Right. Reassure
And
us.
their response was that it's personal records and we're not privy to that information.
Oh, okay.
And I
Well,
find
we'll
that
see what we
just,
can dig up on that. We can certainly do
well,
some digging on that as well and find out. I
we
have one
received
other
a-
question for you.
I wish she would
Shannon,
have.
let me ask
I
you one
wish
more
she
question.
would have
Just-
let him talk because he said we received a, and I don't know if he was going to say they've received something, but she cut him off, and he didn't get to say it. So I don't know what they received.
dig up on that. We can.
But
certainly-
she's like talking about, we're going to put News Nation on the case, and he's like, well, we received. I don't know if he wanted it to go that far after he told them. You know what I'm saying? He's like, whoa, this is going to get a little bigger can of beans open than I really wanted open,
do
Well,
some digging on that as well and find out. I have
we
one
received
other
a-
question for you. Shannon, let me ask you one more question. I've only got about 20 seconds
I
left.
agree,
and I do want to
Margaret.
ask you this because this is happening more and more with crime victims. It happened to the Sandy Hook families. It happened to Shanann Watts' family. More and more, the cyber community, who can be so cruel, harass crime victims. Has this been happening to the Goncalves family
Listen
too?
to this. I didn't know this either.
Yes, the Goncalves family they will receive random emails or text messages or things along those lines that are just, completely inappropriate. They're taunting or whatever it might be. And in today's world, it's amazing that people are out there that do these things to victims of crimes. And it's my understanding that, the Moscow Police Department it stated that if those people cross the line in regards to harassment, that they'll be prosecuting those individuals. So, well, hopefully they'll stick behind that if that ever comes up and becomes an issue with any of the victims' families. So
I'm so sorry to hear that, Shannon. Please pass on, our regrets to the family that they're having to go through that. That's being doubly victimized. And
Who would do that to
It's
them?
just unconscionable. Thank you for being here. I appreciate this.
Who would be coming at the Goncalves family? And why them? Why them and none of the other families? Why are they getting heat? The only thing that I can think of that's different between the Goncalves family and the rest of the families is that Steve has spoken out. That's the only difference. So they're being bullied. By who? By who? You have to wonder. Let's move on to our next video. We have one more video.
And losing his daughter, her best friend, and two
With
others
Steve.
is not knowing why or who is responsible.
This morning, students on edge at the University of Idaho as the search for the killer in that brutal quadruple homicide enters its third week.
It is disconcerting that there is somebody out there who's done such a horrible thing and they haven't been caught.
The school posting this notice on social media Monday, writing increased security will be on site for the remainder of the semester. Steve Goncalves, the father of one of the victims, 21-year-old Kaylee, now shedding new light on what happened that night in his first sit-down interview.
It was fast, and nobody suffered and nobody felt like that kind of pain.
Two other roommates survived on the ground floor, waking up several hours later, calling friends over when their roommates were unresponsive.
Do you know the reason why the initial concern was that a roommate was passed out?
I know the girls reached out via texting and calling, so I can only assume that by the phones being ignored, knowing how my daughter is not going to ignore calls and texting.
Officials maintain the murders happened between 3 and 4 a.m. and that the first 911 call was made around noon. Just hours later, Steve was informed of his daughter's death, not by police, but by family members on campus.
Let's call Maddie. And then you realize Maddie's gone too.
I mean, this just keeps going from bad to worse for them when you look back now. They started out not finding any information out. They couldn't get a hold of Kaylee, but they also weren't getting any information. The vandal alert went out at 2:00. Of course, all the students knew first. Of course, the students knew first. The vandal alert went out at 2 p.m. But the Goncalves family didn't find out until 4:30 on social media. Why them? Like, why does it seem like they're being singled out in a way? And why are Kaylee's injuries worse or different or not comparable to Maddie's? Why is there a trend here?
Madison Mogan was Kaylee's lifelong best friend. The pair seen together in their final hours of life, laughing and ordering late night food before getting a ride home together in what Steve described.
Just a random fun fact. This guy in the sweater, I found a picture of Einan Harsh. You guys remember Einan Harsh? Einan Harsh did several interviews. He did a really sketchy one with Hidden True Crime. And I looked him up on Google and Google Image, and he used to have long ass hair. And I have the picture somewhere, but I just wanted to throw that out there just because it popped in my head. And I wondered if this wasn't Einan as well.
As a sorority designated driver service.
You can't imagine sending.
And I wonder too if there's bad people in the area selling drugs who would do favors for the cops or zip their lips for the cops. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like how these cops are able to fuck up and then retire or resign before something is on record, and then they go to another department. We have it in Pullman with Jenkins. We've talked about Jenkins over and over. We have it now in Moscow. Lanier tased a person holding a toddler, and he was on administrative leave, and he resigned in the midst of it. And he states, nope, I resigned. His boss tends to disagree. This is all in the newspapers.
They're all to college, and then they come back in an urn.
And now, the families of the victims growing frustrated by the lack of answers.
I haven't earned the ability to grieve the way that I want to grieve. I want to be able to have justice first.
Now, Steve says that he does plan to speak at the candlelight vigil tomorrow. He went on to say he doesn't want the city of Moscow to fall apart over this. And TJ, in a show of solidarity, that candlelight vigil will be held in various locations across this entire state.
I thought that was interesting as well that, I mean, I get the solidarity thing, but to have it across the state, were they trying to lure in other suspects to other vigils or something? I didn't really understand that part of it, but that's not the focus of our live today. So I want to thank you for bearing with me through those two clips, because that's going to lead us to our affidavit. Or not our affidavit, rather, our motion rejecting that gag order. So hold on, let me pull that up. I don't want to give away my grand finale. All right, so I'm not going to read through every single thing in here because I think what's I have next for you is going to blow your minds, and you guys are probably going to want to talk about it. But let's just look, because I wanted to know, gosh, why are they suppressing the story and suppressing these people from speaking? I mean, they can't even talk about their daughter publicly. That's insane. So it says the state of Idaho is the plaintiffs versus Brian Koberger. And this is a memorandum in support of motion for appeal and or clarification of amended non-dissemination order. So he wants clarification or it appealed. So he says, I, Shannon L. Gray, am an attorney licensed in the state of Idaho, and I represent victim Kaylee Goncalves' family in the above referenced manner. I make this memorandum in support of the motion to appeal, amend, and or clarify the amended non-dissemination order on this case. And then he goes on to list that they have placed their non-dissemination order based on these cases and these laws, whatever. So I'm definitely not a lawyer, but let's go ahead and read the relevant facts. On January 12th, 2023, I participated in a Zoom call with Magistrate Judge Megan Marshall, who is also a UI graduate, alum, in which several of the victims and witnesses' attorneys were present, as well as Leta, however you say that, county prosecutor's office and counsel for the defendant. So Santa Claus was there, Miss Taylor was there, and Megan Marshall. In the Zoom call, he informed Judge Marshall that his clients, which is the Goncalves family, are not parties to the case and therefore are not subject to the order. The judge stated that she mistakenly believed that they were parties and were therefore subject to the order, and she instructed me to advise them. 3, this is on January the 12th now. 3, I also informed Judge Marshall that I did not believe that I was covered under the initial dissemination order as well, and informed her that after the original dissemination order came out, that I emailed the Latah County Prosecutor's Office for clarification and for the judge's email. They offered no clarification and refused to provide Judge Marshall's email address. During the Zoom call, I informed Judge Marshall that I would be contacting the Idaho State Bar for clarification of her order as well. This is getting dirty, is it not? This shit is getting dirty. Since the amended order was issued on January 18th, my clients and I have not made any statements to the media out of fear of being held in contempt of court. Neither I nor my clients, the Goncalves, have stipulated to the order, and upon receiving it, emailed, informed the court and requested that the order be changed as it did not accurately reflect an agreement by the parties. The court did not honor my request. Properly construed, the order does not apply to the victims' families in this matter. The only parties to the case are the people and the defendant. Accordingly, as a non-party citizens, the victim's surviving family members are free to speak to the public and the media under the First Amendment to the Constitution. Simply put, their rights to freedom of speech cannot be restricted through a judicial prior restraint. Gentile makes clear that only the rights of attorneys who are actively engaged in litigating a pending matter can be restricted without satisfying the rigorous prior restraints standards set forth in Nebraska Press Association versus Stewart. As attorney for one of the victims' families, I am allowed to relay to the media any of the opinions, views, or statements of those family members regarding any party of the case, as they are allowed to speak about the case under the First Amendment. This is different from offering up my own opinion regarding the facts and issues surrounding the case. It would place an undue burden on the victims' families if the attorney whom they have retained to represent their interests was prohibited from serving as their spokesperson, conduit to the media and other parties in transmitting the victims' families' thoughts and opinions. Why are the victims' families being squelched? Squelched. This is okay, so as attorney for the victims' family members who are not parties to this action, I too am allowed to comment on the case and other issues surrounding the investigation pursuant to IRPC Rule 3.6. I am not an attorney of record involved in this case. I have played no part in the investigation, prosecution, or defense. Neither the state nor the defense has shared any information, we know that, regarding the case, and therefore the only governing rule for public comment regarding this case would be IRPC Rule 3.6. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. The order is facially overbroad and vague. On its face, it precludes all comments and opinions other than reciting matters of public record. And you know how he says that, reciting. Really, all they want us to do is read the page they created on their Moscow page and the page they created on their court page. Because if you search Brian in the courts of Washington and Idaho, you can't find his ass. But he's on the cases of interest. Weird. None of this makes sense. Why can't you? I mean, Chad Daybell's on the cases of interest, but you search him, he comes up. I don't get it. Maybe they're that slow in entering their data in the computer. I'm not sure. So the point of a non-dissemination order is to protect the rights of the parties, and especially in criminal cases, to preserve a fair and impartial jury pool. Once the jury has been selected and the non-dissemination order becomes moot and therefore would be allowed to be in full force for the entirety of the case. Therefore, I request that the court forthwith amend and or clarify the order regarding the issues addressed above, and I request a hearing on the matter dated this second day of February 2023. And I say, hats off to this dude. He's not gonna go down without a fight, I guess. I mean, you've got Julie Fry, the clerk of the court, filing this. It's crazy town. Crazy town. Okay, so now we understand Shannon Gray's complete frustration, don't we? I don't think it'll be overturned either. And that's really unfortunate, honestly. But this is where things started to come together for me, not purposely. I was putting together, these videos and I was like watching them. And of course, you watch shit and then you're like, oh my God, like what is going on here? So I took the clips that blew my mind, and I have one question for you before we go into this video that I put together. And I'm uploading this separately so that it can be out there just by himself. Yes, that is Chief Fry's wife. They're both UI alums as well. So anyways, let's just play this and we will reconvene after it's over. Hello and welcome back to J is for Justice. I am your host, Jay, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. And if you like this video, please consider giving it that thumbs up. Smoke them if you got them. You might need them. We're going to start today's video with the Goncalves attorney, Shannon Gray. Shannon Gray expressed his frustration with the family not being interviewed early on in the investigation. He goes on to explain to News 10.
During our interview tonight, Gray said another point of frustration is the fact that investigators haven't really interviewed Kaylee's family throughout the course of the investigation.
They just recently, I think, interviewed some of the families, but the Goncalves family has never. They've given them a questionnaire to fill out about some information, but they haven't sat down with them and asked them questions about, I think, a lot of questions that they should have been asking a long time ago. The family is probably the most important piece of information you can get about the habits of the individuals that were involved.
Gray says Kaylee's family is also upset with the rumors and conspiracies being spread online. During the start of the investigation, we heard some conflicting statements from officials that had to be walked back. Moscow police are still asking people to remain vigilant.
Murders. Over the last couple of days, items though like mattresses were removed from the house. Look at that. Forensics experts say investigators are likely to find more DNA evidence before this trial starts.
And it's not just blood. We're talking about any kind of touch DNA, like dead skin cells that are sloughing off. You also have.
In this clip, Brian Enton is speaking with Brian Kohberger's defense attorney from Pennsylvania. Interestingly, he conducted this interview from the parking lot of the new $10 million Moscow Police Department parking lot. He did a 3-part interview on Twitter. I took some clips from that because I noticed something really interesting in the background.
That is still Brian's vehicle. That you have the license plate on the back, not on the front. I understand that, but I'm sure it's still not the only white Hyundai Elantra 2011 to 2016.
Or should that be white truck?
Match that description in the area, and you have no one that places Brian behind the wheel of the vehicle. So again, another hold in regards to that, because he can't verify that he's the one driving the vehicle.
But they don't have to put all of that in the probable cause, though, right? I mean, could they know that?
No, absolutely not. This is just holes that I got from the affidavit probable cause that the prosecution could clearly clear up, right? And really, you anticipate it from a forensic review of his cell phone. So certainly, it's more evidence that you're going to be looking at.
Okay, now pay attention to this clip. I know the video is blurry, and maybe there's someone who can take the original video and make it clear and zoom in. But what I noticed is you could tell the height of that person getting out of the vehicle. Let's watch that person exit the white truck again.
What in the world is that fucking thing?
Holes to grow smaller. When the prosecution puts their entire case on it and collects all their evidence, but maybe not. I don't know. But there are certainly holes in the case, and the affidavit probable cause is just a start where you can see.
Now, I know we all remember when we saw investigators and police officers carrying bloody mattresses, boxes of things, and putting them in the back of pickup trucks. And I think we all thought that was a very odd way to transport evidence. I'm no expert, but we've all followed a lot of cases and we've watched a lot of evidence collection. And this didn't make sense to any of us, I don't think. But now I'm going to make it make less sense. Or more, depending on how you look at this. So what do you guys think of this white truck being sighted in all these different places? And who do you think's driving it? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please do click that like button. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe.
One-way ticket to hell.
Whoa. So who do you guys think? What do you think about this? This white truck is seen as much as a damn white Elantra. And while I was watching this with you guys, I remembered one more place that I saw a white truck like this. So now we have a white Elantra and a white truck that's seen everywhere. What is going on, right? So is the white truck suspect vehicle number 2? Let's take a look over at King Road. All right, what's this? You can see the front end of a white truck right here. See, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. See that? I'm like, what? This was taken April of 2022, so I don't know. But let me go back. That's not what I meant to do. I want to go to 1122 King Road for a sec. And I want to take our little dude. And I want to go right here. And it must not have been this shot. It must have been on my Google Earth. There was a white truck, though, that was parked right here at one point in time. But I don't remember. I think it was on my Google Earth I found that. But anyway, at any rate, there's all your white Elantras. You got 1, you got 2, and you've got 3 right here in this right here. But yeah, what do you guys think of this white truck being seen and like the mattresses being brought out in the white truck? And the families basically, I mean, not basically, literally being gagged. I don't know what to make of it. Put a 1 in chat, though, if you thought it was odd for them to put those mattresses and such in the back of a pickup. I found that to be a little odd. But also, this was a long interview that he did. It was probably, God, he talked to this guy, and it's interesting what they talk about during this interview while this truck pulls in. Yes, Glenda, I thought it was him as well. I don't know for sure. Yeah, I thought it was a little odd. And the family, right, Crime Pow says the family must be on to something suspicious. Why would 42, Steph Doe says, why would 42 feds be on the case? What usually constitutes that many FBI? But yeah, so it is very disrespectful, Gregory. I agree with you. And when did they remove the bodies from the house? Because if you go back to another thing that doesn't make sense is that they conducted these autopsies so quickly. And this coroner was speaking out. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, Jenny. A white truck in the police body cam footage from the 13th of the kids drinking on Bandfield. Well, I think that Chief Fry may have had to call in the FBI fairly early on. I think it was day 3. And that, to me, with that many already in place, yikes. Yikes, Ashley.
Did I ask them to do that?
So let's go to the body cam. I want to see. I didn't notice a truck there, y'all. If there's a truck there, I'm done. Body cam, Idaho 4. Oh, Lord. All right. Is it when they look over at the cars? When he says, that y'all's car? Which would be... I don't see a white truck, guys. But let's watch. You guys let me know if I'm at the right spot. Am I at the wrong spot? I think they had her give that interview so that they'd had another reason to gag the family. Honestly.
Nothing.
Where's this white truck? I don't... Or is it right here in the beginning? You guys have to let me know where you see this. Is it in the beginning or... Meanwhile, they're just cruising along in a Ford Fusion. Is that the police department?
Hey guys, Moscow PD. Come over here, talk to me. Moscow PD. Hey, is that beer?
What's up?
Is that beer in your hand?
Yeah, I'm 21.
You got the ID?
It's totally cray. Hey, white boy.
Okay.
I'll take it back to my apartment if you need.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Huh? No, they just took off. I told them to stop.
The one on the 13th, you guys said. Not that body cam. What body cam?
Why don't you guys all have a drink tonight?
Which one is it?
How's your night going?
Oh, pretty good.
Oh, shit. How do you know that, Gregory Worth? How do you know that it drove back there?
Just trying to stay warm.
Is that y'all's car right there?
Gas. They downgraded us from patrol cars.
Gotcha.
They gave us hybrids to save on fuel.
There you go.
What a smart ass.
That lets me know that actually exists. I'll catch you later. All right.
No worries.
Why don't you guys all have a drink tonight?
Where is this white truck, guys?
Yeah. Hard.
Hey, damaged goods.
All right. If you guys all want to stand somewhere in this area.
Yeah, I don't see a white truck in there. Oh, you mean the undies? Yes, it's the undies one. That's where I saw it parked. It wasn't on Google. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Because now I totally remember where I saw it. And you guys, hold on. I'm going to have to go let my husband in the house. Hold on one sec. Oh, I guess I didn't lock him out. I thought I locked him out. Okay. The white truck was also on the food truck? No, I did not. See? This is why, you guys, we put our heads together and we put these pieces of the puzzle together. Jenny, holy crap. Okay, what? I'm trying to remember which body cam now. It's the girl with her underwear. Okay. Moscow, Idaho. I know exactly what one I'm looking for, too. It's the one where the girl called about her underwear. If it comes up when I put underwear cup holder, I'm done. Here it is.
Opportunity big time. So,
This is where I saw the white truck parked on this road. And this Chris dude, Chris keeps dropping back, remember? Hold on, I'm sorry if I'm making you guys dizzy. This is also when FedEx pulls up. FedEx pulls up and gives a delivery to the white Elantra. Could there be some kind of drug deal going on as well?
about the fuse box, the little lid for that?
I don't know what it's like normally. The only thing I kind of noticed was like my hood thing. Like if you look down here, it looks like it's like bent like the other way a little bit.
This poor girl.
Your alternators there. I don't see anything of.
This is Brett Payne. He says, "Do you want me to look under your hood?" So he does, and then he's like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I'm not a mechanic."
In reverse first, I can make sure the brakes will work.
Right.
When they work. And
okay.
Then
You know how to open your hood?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so I ain't no mechanic, but obviously engine, your batteries here,
Everything
2 batteries.
What was he gonna look for if he had no idea? It's so weird. Like just wanting to stay there longer. I don't know, man. You look up the history of that house. There's been hundreds of tenants in that house. This might be where you can see it.
On it before? Oh, it is there,
yeah,
though? Okay.
I just left it there.
Because remember, Chris hung back. Here, we'll just play it.
I don't see anything of notice.
That's good.
I don't know. There's supposed to be a cap here. It looks like an oil filter.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know though. I have a Subaru too, but I've never looked in the motor.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah,
so
it looks normal.
What we are.
Oh, that's what was parked up on the. Jenny is screaming at me. I'm so sorry, Jenny. You're right. On the hill when he first pulls up. There you go. Boom. Thank you, Jenny. Up top. But I could have sworn that I saw one on the road as well. I saw it somewhere. I'm going to mute it. But I could have sworn that I saw it somewhere. Why is he putting his hand there? What is he doing? Oh, is that a truck? I never once saw it on that angle. Let's see. What do we think? Is this another sighting? Is this another sighting of the white truck? Wow. And remember, these were all put out there, right? But see, later, that truck isn't there anymore. Later on in the video, that truck disappears from the hill. And I could have sworn it parked down here. Okay, so here comes FedEx. You see them coming up the road. And then you see a white Elantra come up as well. Watch. This is where... And then the neighbor here leaves at the same time. All this is happening at once. It's not a truck, you guys don't think? Hey, Miss Nightbot. Here comes the Elantra rolling up. And we're on Payne's body cam right now. See that FedEx thing pulls in. Elantra's like, oh, backs up. And yes, okay, so while we're watching this, in the police parking lot with Brian Enton, that is correct. That is correct.
That's correct.
So he gets out of the truck, and you'll have to go watch it. Have to go to Twitter and watch it on Brian Enton's page. So it's a 3-part interview with the prosecutor, and I believe it was January the 11th. Yeah, he covered the camera. How convenient, huh? But anyway, he does. He walks over instead of going to the parking lot. He goes over to someone else who also pulls in an SUV. You guys are going to have to send me the timestamps of when you guys see white trucks. Because we'll put another video together of a compilation of the white trucks. Yeah, the cops are literally acting really weird with the way they're turning, what they're looking at. It felt off to begin with, and this poor girl was so uncomfortable talking about her underwear in the cup holder. You know, it's just... Run the food grub one. There's a few different angles. It's the one with the girls walking towards the camera. Is it when they're arriving or leaving? Oh, the one where they're walking. Yes, I showed that. The one where they're walking to the grub truck with hoodie guy. The truck pulls in behind them. Yes, we showed that. I thought you meant it was like in the one where they're waiting for their food or whatever. But really, I mean, now I see why the family is so frustrated. And the family, hey, TNT, when they're arriving. Yeah. I saw that. For those of you that are just joining, I'm going to play this video one more time, and then it will be uploaded in its entirety, just that video. But this, I want you guys to walk away from this video with the question, is this suspect vehicle number 2? Because we know that suspect vehicle number 1 wouldn't be named number 1 if there wasn't a number 2 or a number 3. And I don't think that there would be a co-defendant, an informant, if there wasn't a co-defendant and an informant. I mean, why not take that out at this point? So let's watch this one more time. Hello and welcome back to J is for Justice. I am your host, Jay, and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. And if you like this video, please consider giving it that thumbs up. We're going to start today's video with the Goncalves attorney, Shannon Gray. Shannon Gray expressed his frustration with the family not being interviewed early on in the investigation. He goes on to explain to News 10.
During our interview tonight, Gray said another point of frustration is the fact that investigators haven't really interviewed Kaylee's family throughout the course of the investigation.
You know, they just recently, I think, interviewed some of the families, but the Goncalves family has never. They've given them a questionnaire to fill out about some information, but they haven't sat down with them and
questionnaire
and asked them questions about. I think a lot of questions that they should have been asking a long time ago. The family is probably the most important piece of information you can get about the habits of the individuals that
William,
were
I never banned
Grace
you.
says Kaylee's family is also upset with the rumors and conspiracies being spread online. During the start of the investigation, we heard some conflicting statements from officials that had to be walked back. Moscow police are still asking people to remain vigilant.
Murders. Over
That's
the last
why I'm
couple of
replaying
days,
it, Jenny.
items, though, like mattresses were removed from the house. Look at that. Forensics experts say investigators are likely to find more DNA evidence before this trial starts.
And it's not just blood. We're talking about any kind of touch DNA, like dead skin cells that are
Awesome, Brooke.
sloughing
Thank
off.
you.
You also have.
That's why Steve needed someone to be the alpha. TNT. In this clip, Brian Enton is speaking with Brian Kohberger's defense attorney from Pennsylvania. Interestingly, he conducted this interview from the parking lot of the new $10 million Moscow Police Department parking lot. He did a 3-part interview on Twitter. I took some clips from that because I noticed something really interesting in the background.
That is still Brian's vehicle. That you have the license plate on the back, not on the front. I understand that, but I'm sure it's still not the only white Hyundai Elantra 2011 to 2016.
Or should that be white truck?
Match that description in the area, and you have no one that places Brian behind the wheel of the vehicle. So again, another hold in regards to that, because he can't verify that he's the one driving the vehicle.
But they don't have to put all of that in the probable cause, though, right? I mean, could they know that?
No, absolutely not. This is just holes that I got from the affidavit of probable cause that the prosecution could clearly clear up, right? And really,
Thank you,
anticipate
TNT.
it as from a forensic review of his cell phone. So certainly, it's more evidence that you're going to be looking at.
Okay, now pay attention to this clip. I know the video is blurry, and maybe there's someone who can take the original video and make it clear and zoom in. But what I noticed is you could tell the height of that person getting out of the vehicle. Let's watch that person exit the white truck again.
What in the world is that fucking thing?
Holes to grow smaller when the prosecution puts their entire case on it and collects all their evidence, but maybe not. I don't know.
5-minute video took me 2.5 hours, literally. After I found this. Now, I know we all remember when we saw investigators and police officers carrying bloody mattresses. What, Chris K? Boxes of things, and putting them in the back of pickup trucks. And I think we all thought that was a very odd way to transport evidence. I'm no expert, but we've all followed a lot of cases and we've watched a lot of evidence collection. And this didn't make sense to any of us, I don't think. Thanks, you guys. But now I'm going to make it make less sense. Or more, depending on how you look at this. There's that white truck. So what do you guys think of this white truck He walked over being that sighted way that I'm panning in all these different places? And who do you think's driving it? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please do click that like button. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe. There you have it. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thanks for starting that train, TNT. Yes, Amy Perry. Box trucks make a hell of a lot more sense, don't they? Don't they? Thank you, Obsessed, for Disneyland. Thank you, Stefko. Thank you so much for being here, V-Slims. The ironing here, says BM, when they are speaking of the white Elantra and the white truck is in the background. I believe in signs to show us the truth exists, divine intervention. Thank you so much, onesies. Same truck that is throwing in the back. Thank you, Shell. Chris K. What's up, Chris K? I didn't understand your last comment. Please explain about innocent guys or whatever you were saying. Now, by all means, if there is a suspect vehicle number 2, that doesn't mean that Brian Kohberger isn't innocent or is innocent. Do you know what I'm saying? Just because there might be a number 2 or a number 3. Oh, Mike Sanner coming in hot. He says the only way they would transport evidence in that truck would be if it was a cop. I think it was the same cop that was at the bar. The cop that was at the bar. What bar? Thank you, Carrie Ann, and thank you, Crime Pow. Pow Pow.
Corroborate.
That's what I call corroborate. Corroborate.
Corroborate.
Oh, you were asking her a question. Okay, that's why I didn't understand. All right, well, if you want to put your email in the chat, TNT, so Chris K can get a hold of you. Yeah, I don't know who got it. I mean, like I said, if someone has the capabilities to go to Twitter, this is me trying to enhance it and like make a video in 2 hours that really probably would have taken me 2 days if I didn't hurry and have this live. Someone can go to Twitter and download this original video. See, I didn't even do that. If you download this original video, it's really good quality because it seems to me when you go to the orig, and let me show you. Let me show you. So when you go to, you scroll down, he's got a lot of stuff. But I want to show you the angle of that camera because it's really interesting. It's interesting how it's set up. Oh, it's here somewhere. What is this? Kohberger's office. Okay, I haven't seen any of this stuff. Okay, here it is. So here's part 3. Now, if you look like the camera angle, he's sitting on the passenger side, but the camera is on the driver's side up high so you can see through the window. Yeah, I don't know if they put it back. I don't recall. I would have to look that up. Hello, Mrs. Kurt Cobain. But if you see that angle, it's almost like it's purposely done. Almost like it's purposely done to get a good view of that parking lot because I don't know what time he conducted this. Was this shift change? Were they expecting someone to, pull in at this time? Or was this purely a coincidence that we're seeing this truck yet again? At the Corner Club, I thought that was the owner standing at the Corner Club. No? Yeah, Shell says spill it, TNT. Well, I think that Brian's attorney did a reenactment, no? And I have a little hunch. Let me know what you think of this. I have a little hunch that maybe they did a reenactment because they thought it would be impossible for one person to kill 4 people in the manner that they were killed in that short of time. Right? Is that why they felt a reenactment? What that would prove that it couldn't possibly be one person in there? I have no idea if it's the same white truck, Vero. How do we know it's the same white Elantra? We don't. But it's funny that this white truck is everywhere. Everywhere. And from what we hear from the affidavits, so was the Elantra. So I don't know why, Vero, you'd be so against looking at the white truck, because it is very strange. I mean, I'm no cop, but I even picked up on this shiz. So I would have to say that other people pick up on these things as well. Truth and Transparency says she's about to blow the timeline out of the water. No way killings took place between 4 and 4:25. Now, we know that was another thing they backpedaled on. They backpedaled on the time. One of many things. Oh, that's right. Chris K went to school with BK. Chris K, why don't you email me? That's right. I forgot about that. You said that in the last live stream. You said that you're being harassed by media, right? Are they still wanting you to talk, Chris K? Because you shouldn't be under a gag order, right? Hey, Potato. Well, is the time off because the heat was, or the heat was kicking and the house got really hot, especially upstairs? But, you know, you think back on this affidavit and it's just like the documentary started. What documentary? Are you in it, Chris K? Are you in the documentary? Explain yourself. Who's doing a documentary? Yeah, you would think that Brian Enton would have gotten like a coroner's van or something. So it leads me to believe that the bodies were left or, you know, were removed very covertly. Very covertly. Media has backed off. Thank God they're ruthless to a majority of my graduating class. And no, I'd never talk to the media. I don't blame you. I've heard that the media is having a hard time getting people to talk about him. Honestly. If you guys want to send over any pictures of any white trucks that you see, Chris K, what streamers have you spoke to? Have you been on any panels? I'd love to see the panels you were on. Dude, I know the editing, TNT, is out of hand. Sometimes it's easier to just go live and get it all organized, go live and lay it out, because you spend so much time editing. It's insane. Because we can't say good things or they cut us off. It happened to my friend Rich. Oh, is your friend the blonde guy? Because that's the only friend that I've seen. And he wanted to say like he was a nice guy, right? Totally innocent until proven guilty. It's going to be jisforjustice@gmail.com. It's in chat. T-Rev was the only one you spoke to quite a bit, but that was before the affidavit. Yeah, I wouldn't talk either. I don't blame you. I really don't, even though I would love to hear your story. I don't blame you, and I respect that, so. Have you seen Xana's TikTok comment? Nope. No, that's Skylar Jacobson. This was Rich Pasqua. He has long hair. It's on Dr. Thrifty channel. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Oh, I think I saw that. Doesn't he trace it to a mobile home or something? A truck? He traces it like to a mobile home or something. Yeah, what comment? What comment? Janine remembers when this was when this was a fancy TV. I know, me too. She says, TNT says at 4:12 a.m. on 11/13/2022 comments Queen to a vid. No shit. What? What vid? Thank you for sharing, Van Life. Dennis McCarthy, seems to me this has a drugs message. Yeah. So, you know, what's really unfortunate and sad is that a lot of veterans suffer from PTSD and injuries that they sustain in war. And there's been a lot, you know, an epidemic of veterans addicted to opioids as well. So that's concerning. Chris K., you'll never be judged here. Vero says, truth, didn't you tell Kaylee's family who owned the white truck? You mentioned it in a video. You think he had a GoPro? Interesting, if you check out my video about the bridge, the guy biking over the bridge, he has a GoPro. And he says, GoPro, turn off. So I don't know if you guys that knew Brian can maybe listen to that voice. Where there's drugs, there's lots of money. Yeah, unfortunately. And a lot of corruption, right? Timeline with digital evidence that puts people alive. Interesting. I can't wait to hear you break it down. All right, you guys, I am going to end this on that note. Tango Alpha Bravo. Where is that person? That sounds like a military person. I'd love to get your input on this. Where is Tango Alpha Bravo? Gregory Worth, I would love to hear your theory. Could you email your theory? You can email your theory to the podcast team or to my email, whichever. It's a lot easier just to put it all in an email instead of chat. I mean, I just want to end this by saying I support the blue. My sister is a retired officer. I've always backed the blue, and I respect our military. Okay. So I just want to put that out there and end on this. I don't know if we have a suspect vehicle number 2, but we will see. Tango Alpha Bravo. I am ex-military, but I've been out for a long time. I was actually early on saying that there was probably 2 people killing on both floors at the same time. Interesting. The blue house behind the Idaho house. Is that the one where the girl's underwear were in her cup holder? And then we also can't forget that Brian asked if someone else had also been arrested. So more to come, I'm sure. And be sure that you're subscribed to TNT for the next bomb drop. Sounds like she's got some shit up her sleeve. on your community post. All right, I will check that out. Thank you so much. You guys, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that like button. And thanks for sharing your Monday afternoon with me. I appreciate it. Dance it out.
Did I ask them to do that?
I did.
Jennifer loves horses.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. 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 You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time for that.